Brash Plus exclusive 2023 schedule release. I am joined by Brandon. We're going to break down the entire 2023 schedule, every single game that they have on the docket. We're going to go through
game by game.
game by
We're
game.
picking scores. We're picking player of the game. I mean, we're going all out in this schedule release special.
So sit down, buckle up, because it's going to be a 17-hour special.
Obviously, that is not going to be the case. We are just going to go through the highlights of the upcoming NFL season, the games that stick out to us, touch a little bit on our teams that are near and dear to our heart. There goes my screensaver again, Josh. That's the new feature that's going to be happening a lot
Love
these
that.
days.
Love that for you.
As long as we're late on our bills, this is why we need more sponsors and subscribers, because we are late on our bills and now we got screensaver issues. But
yes, and again, thank you everyone who shelled out $379.99 for this episode.
It's well worth it. We promise you.
It's well worth it. We're going to get caught up on our bills, so no more screensaver issues. Don't worry.
Yeah, be rest assured you will be receiving your complimentary tote bag within the next 2 weeks, exclusively from Brash Sports.
Yep. The kids in China are sewing them right now.
Yeah, the tote bag, you're probably wondering, why does it say Homewood Suites by Hilton on it? Well, it's because we had it lying around, and that's where I used to work many years ago. So,
and on your way out, you just stole handfuls of them.
But don't worry, we took a permanent marker and we wrote Brash Sports on it, so you'll never forget where it came from.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to throw it out there because the show has begun. There's no backing out now, Josh. We are in the thick of it in this Brash Plus exclusive, and I didn't make any predictions. So you have yours in front of you. I don't. I'm just going to have to do it on the fly. So
wow.
That's the type of content you get here at Brash Plus.
That's beautiful. Okay, cool. Well, do you want to run us through the highlights and headlines real quick, and then we can jump into predictions?
Absolutely. I was just going to pull up the divisions here so I can kind of get a good idea of where they stood last season. Yeah, let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about week 1 of the NFL season. This year, kicking everything off on Thursday, September 7th, will be the Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, is this the first time ever that the Detroit Lions are kicking off the season? Because I can't remember them ever starting.
I can't remember it either. I didn't look it up, but it feels like it. I mean, at least in the last, 10, 15 years or something, in a time that we've been conscious about it, I'm sure that it is, because I do not remember another time. And that's exciting for the Lions, man. Yeah. I'm happy for them.
Good for them. I was really surprised to see that, but happy to see that. Happy for those Detroit Lions fans. They deserve it. The Lions fans are like, fuck, man, we don't want to start off in Arrowhead against the champ. Thanks a lot, NFL.
True. That's true. If there's one team you don't want to play, like week 1, because nobody's better than Andy Reid off of a bye.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it's the longest
off season.
It's the longest bye week there is the off season.
What's the early line on that one, you think? Oh my God. I'd say 6.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I bet it's 6.5.
All right, we'll look that up here in a little bit, but let's discuss a little Redskins Giants season openers. The Cardinals will be coming to town in Landover to take on the Commanders. That is a 1:00 Eastern time kickoff Sunday on September 10th. And later that evening, Sunday Night Football on NBC. It is going to be the Dallas Cowboys at MetLife taking on the Giants. It's still called MetLife, right? They haven't changed.
It is still MetLife. Yep.
All right. So, hey, I mean, of course, I'm thrilled getting the Cardinals at home for the season opener. No, I mean, I couldn't have envisioned a better season opener because it's a soft open in my opinion.
That's huge for you guys.
Yeah, and Sam Howell, this is his in many ways, this will be his rookie campaign, as the starting quarterback for the team. So yeah, I'm really happy that we got the Cardinals there, because that would be a huge confidence booster right off the bat if he was able to get that week 1 win, and then we could head to Denver after that. But how do you feel about kicking things off Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys?
I mean, historically, we're pretty bad against the Cowboys on Sunday night, but I don't know. I think if there is a good time to play the Cowboys on Sunday night, it's week 1. Um, they are they got rid of Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator, and I
Yeah.
think Mike McCarthy might be calling plays now. So there might be a little bit of adjustment for the Cowboys on that end. It's at home, it's in New York, so that's obviously a huge plus for us. We've got a lot of momentum in the offseason, so I uh, I'm I'm thrilled that this isn't like week 10. You know what I mean? I'm glad that it's week 1. I think that
Yeah.
gives us the best chance of doing it. And but the Cowboys are obviously going to be a tough opponent all year, so it's always having been a Giants fan for as long as I have, and we went through a stretch that was broken last year of starting the season 0-2. It was like the 6 previous seasons we started 0-2. So starting week 1 with a win, which we did last year, best feeling ever. So I hope we can pull it off. And yeah, like I said, the Commanders are in prime position to do that. So that's huge for you guys. But I'm excited. It'll be an entertaining game. That's the
Oh
bottom
yeah.
line.
No, of course. I love seeing NFC East games, on any prime time,
Right.
whether it be Sunday night or Monday night or Thursday night. The Monday night game, speaking of which, kicking things off week 1 will be the Buffalo Bills against the New York Jets. That's right. That will be Aaron Rodgers' first game as the starter for the Jets. And on September 11th, the 2 New York teams. I mean, again, you and I, we debate whether Buffalo is really a New York team
Yeah.
because they're almost more of a Toronto team. But um, you feel like they kind of missed an opportunity there. It should have, if they wanted the Jets in that Monday night spot, then they should have had the Giants there too. 2 New York teams,
Well, I
2
mean,
true New York teams. Sorry.
it's 9/11. It's September
Yeah.
11th, and you had an opportunity. Giants and Jets will play each other this year. You had an opportunity to throw them on the docket week 1 Monday night on September 11th. What a huge missed opportunity by the NFL to really, really hammer that patriotism home. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it's still a great game. Division rivals, all that stuff. One thing I noticed, did they do away with the doubleheader Monday night, week 1? Because that used to be a thing every year, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. That has been a thing at least like the last 2 or 3 years. So,
As long as
yeah,
I
the,
can
the
remember.
early yeah, the early Monday night game in the later one. That's
Yeah, I
weird.
thought that was weird, but
Oh well, I mean, I don't really give a shit.
no, I don't either.
I'm fine with the one.
That late game starts so late that it's like kind of a wash anyway, and it's usually 2 shitty West Coast
There
teams
you go.
playing each other.
Maybe that had an impact on the ratings. So they just said,
Could be,
what are we doing? To hell with this. Bad idea. Who
could
came up
be.
with that? Me. You're fired. We
Pack your
got
shit and get out.
Yeah, yeah. What are you still doing here? No, no, no. Don't take the stairs. You see that window? You get the fuck out of here. We got 3 London games this year, Josh. Plus 2 in Frankfurt. Is that where it is in Germany?
Frankfurt. Yeah.
Okay. For a second, I was like, I butchered that. It's not Frankfurt. It's something else. Not Frankfurt. Frankfurt.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not Frankfoot. That's stinky.
No.
We're not
No,
talking
you
to
do not want a
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
No, no.
Ugh.
See week 4, we'll get things kicked off in London. Of course, it will be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the home field London
The
Jaguars.
London
Well,
Jags.
they're still known as the Jacksonville Jaguars for now, but we know that they're slowly being pushed across the pond to become the first team in England, representing a whole nother country. But Jacksonville will also stay in London for the following week to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll be a really fun trip for them. I'm sure they're really looking forward to that. And the week 6 matchup will be the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. So those are your 3 London games. Any thoughts on the London matchups, Josh?
Well, at first I was like, dude, Jacksonville's getting screwed here, right? But the owner of the Jaguars owns a Premier League team in London. I can't remember. It's not Tottenham. It's a different, maybe, I don't know. It's not worth me remembering. But
The owner of the Jaguars, you said?
yep, he owns a Premier team
Yeah.
in London. So they're going to have full access to those practice facilities, and I'm sure they're going to be put up in nice hotels and all the things. So it's not as bad as I thought. Because at first I was like, what is this? What are they doing here? Right.
Yeah.
I also saw that Jacksonville is going to remodel their stadium starting next year or something.
Oh,
And they're trying to figure out where the Jags will play. And people were throwing out the idea of like move them to London for 2 years and see how it goes while they redo this stadium. But if you do that, they're not coming back. And then you're just going to have this brand new nice stadium in Jacksonville with no one to play there, which would be a shame. But no, at first I was like, dude, Jacksonville's getting screwed. But I don't think it's as bad. It's not as bad as I thought.
okay. Yeah, I mean, logistically, it doesn't make sense to have an NFL team in England. We know
No, of
this.
course
We've
not.
talked about this. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like,
It's that's such a headache.
oh,
So,
dude, like LA to London is a
it's
nightmare flight. Like,
bad enough going from New York to LA. I mean,
right.
from it's LA to London. I mean, come on. Yeah, you're right. It's we can't have it. Won't accept it.
We're taking a stand
Mm-hmm.
right here, right now.
I will boycott all Jacksonville Jaguars games if they even think about going to London. That is my vow. Okay, I'm giving you my word. Frankfurt, Germany, Josh. The
Yes.
Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs matchup in Week 9. That actually sounds like a pretty good game.
Very
Tyreek
good.
Hill
Yeah.
going up against the Chiefs. I don't think that happened last season, so maybe it did, and I just completely forgot because I don't remember every single game last year.
I don't either.
The Indianapolis Colts and the New England, I'm guessing that's New England Patriots right there. I don't know if you were trying to throw me off with that, but
New.
yeah. Indy versus New week 10 in Frankfurt. So
That's funny.
yeah. You know, I mean,
They got they got just a great game and then a fucking dud back to
that's
back.
a real boring one.
That's a dud.
I mean, watch
That's
those
a
two teams end up being
stinker.
really good. That would be funny. And then the Miami Chiefs one ends up being the dud. Again,
It's
a lot
snooze
of things
fest.
can happen. You never know. But overall, with the international lineup this year, was a bit surprised, as were you, that we weren't getting one Mexico City game this year because I thought it was really
Yeah,
cool how they did that last year. That was a Monday night game, right? Last season.
I believe so.
Yeah. I know the 49ers were in it, and I think the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah. So, damn shame.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a story behind why they didn't return to Mexico City, but we will never hear it. And I
Yeah,
also
that's
am
true.
surprised we discussed this previously that we haven't seen a game in Canada. Like, yes, but the Bills have played in Toronto, but that's usually because they had to. Or there was one time they voluntarily played a game there, and they call it like the Toronto Invitational or some shit like that. I don't know, but
Yeah, we should get some games going in Canada. I love
mhm,
Canada.
I guess they just don't have the stadiums, that fit the capacity that the NFL wants.
Got the
Maybe that's
Canadian
what it is.
Football League, but yeah, I don't know how big those stadiums are. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
Eh,
don't know what goes on up
eh.
there.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, Josh. Oh my God.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Moving on. No, The
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving lineup. We have the early game being the Green Bay Packers in Detroit taking on the Lions. One is a 12:30 kickoff Eastern time. That will actually be the second Thursday game for the Packers and the Lions matchup
Oh,
this season.
that's
Yeah.
weird.
And your middle of the day game, or right around your feasting time, will be, that's right, the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Once again, this will be their first Thanksgiving matchup in what now, 4 years? Or has it only been three?
Couldn't tell
Um,
you.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago because actually, no, it was my first Thanksgiving living in this house. So yeah, that's 3 years. So second,
Okay.
second and three. Um, we are 2-0, Josh, in our last two Thanksgiving games against the Cowboys. And not only are we 2-0, we whooped that ass last two games. So I'm a little bit worried about this season because, again, Sam Howell, the unknown, and even if he ends up being halfway decent, still a very young quarterback. And those are some bright lights there in Dallas on Thanksgiving.
For sure.
So hey, who knows though? Maybe our defense can carry the load in that game and get us the dub for the third time in a row in Dallas on Thanksgiving. Your night game, the San Francisco 49ers in Seattle take on those Seahawks. That one's an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time. And the following day, we will have the first ever Black Friday game. Pretty interesting. Miami
Yeah.
Dolphins in New York take on the Jets at 3 o'clock. That's an interesting kickoff, 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I like it. Typically that's a big college football day, but the NFL's taking over everything. So they don't give a fuck.
No, I
They're
don't give
just
a
going to
shit.
steamroll every other league in this great country. And personally, I'm here for it. I'd rather watch the Dolphins Jets than any college matchup, I think.
One thing I do not like about the Thanksgiving games, and this really just clicked today when I was thinking about our Brash Plus exclusive. Um, and those Thanksgiving games. I don't like how the six teams that play on Thanksgiving play two Thursday games, so two quick turnarounds because they all play the week prior. And they all play the week prior and then their other Thursday game. So those six teams have to play two Thursday games, two quick turnarounds, but nobody else does. So the rest of the league only gets one Thursday night game.
Mm.
I think that's a bit fucked up. I mean, if you're going to give them two Thursday night games, then maybe everybody has a bye week of that game before Thanksgiving. So it kind of evens it out a little bit. But I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, I always thought that they were pretty good about doing bye weeks around Thursday night games,
Nope.
but this year they're just fucking it up.
They're just they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't pay any attention to that. They just put the schedule together and then I don't know how they come up with the bye week. The bye weeks make no sense at all. Like
I,
some teams get it at week 5 and then some at like week 12. Like
I
what?
had a thought. I had a thought the other day that I thought was really good. And this isn't a good time to do a deep dive, especially because I haven't really thought it out, but they should extend the regular season and have 2 bye weeks. I'm sick of the 17 weeks. I want 18 weeks. I want a good round number. And I understand that you're going to have too many injuries and all that stuff, and the players don't want it. But if you add another bye week, what's the harm? And then you have 2 bye weeks for every team and a longer season. It benefits everybody.
Well, the only problem there is that you're pushing the season out even further unless we get the season kicked off earlier.
Get it started earlier.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. And then get rid of another. They already got rid of one preseason game, right?
Yeah,
So we can get rid of another one.
we only need two. Nobody's playing starters
We only need
anyway.
two. Two is perfect.
Two is
That's a good
perfect.
number right there. Yeah, three is silly. I know. Both
So yeah,
odd numbers.
you'd have to start it sometime in like August, but I mean, we're ready for football now. So who cares if it starts in August? People will watch.
Yeah. No. I'm with you there. Again, we got to submit our requests to the NFL.
Yeah, if Goodell ever gets back to me, we'll see. But
So wait,
we're feuding right now.
did you
We're
beep him?
feuding.
Did you? Did
Did I beep him?
beep beep. Oh man, Josh is
Oh,
beeping
it's
me again.
Josh again. That son of a bitch.
It says boob. This guy, he's something else. I'll tell you.
80085.
Yeah. All right. I don't know who's going to get that joke, but the Christmas lineup this year, Josh. We got a full slate Sunday, Christmas Eve. And wait a second. What were you trying to put in your notes there? I'm going off of your notes here, so you got to work with me. I thought we
Yeah. All
just
right.
had the 3 games.
So Christmas is a Monday. So there's a full slate of games Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day there's 3 games.
Gotcha. Okay. So these are 3 Christmas Day games, which again, typically an NBA day, and
Typically an NBA day.
NHL. The NHL, watch out for the NHL. But moving on, the NFL is dipping their big stinky Frank toes into the Christmas Day mix. And the early 1 p.m. Eastern time kickoff will be the Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Good divisional matchup there. New York Giants playing Christmas Day. This is interesting. In Philly against the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be a 4:30 kickoff. And the Baltimore Ravens in San Francisco will be your late matchup. Yeah, I like all those games, to be completely honest with you. And why not?
Very good games, but can we get the 1 o'clock slot for the Giants? I mean, come on, you put the West Coast teams ahead of us? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Giants Philly should be 1 o'clock because now you put it squarely at dinner time on Christmas. I can't get out of that. So I don't know what to do about it. It kind of sucks. That's our first game against Philadelphia too.
What do you mean get out of that? You can't have it on in the background? I mean, is that not allowed?
No.
So it's allowed on Thanksgiving, but not allowed on Christmas. Is that
Well, I celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving in 2 different places.
okay?
Right. So I'm assuming that wherever I am for Christmas is going to be more formal, sitting at a dining table in a dining room with no TV. And I think a lot of people are going to run into this, right? Because the people that typically control where you're eating on Christmas especially are going to say no TV, put your phone away. You're not going to keep up with the Giants, even though you care about that more than spending time with your family. So yeah, that game should be at 1 o'clock. Move the West Coast game to 4:30, and then everything would be fine. But no, the Giants Philly game is going to get the ratings, so that's why they have it there. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I have a feeling I have a feeling you're not going to miss that game. So
I'm
just
going to miss
throwing
at
it
least
out
a
there.
half. I'm going to miss at least a half.
All right, so we got 4 teams left off primetime schedules this season. We have the Colts, Cardinals, Texans, and Falcons. Womp womp.
Yeah, there it is. I was wondering if you're going to say it or not.
Yeah. And we have 4 teams with 6 primetime games. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Chargers, Bills, and Cowboys. That's insane.
It's a lot.
Oh, I am so happy the Redskins only have 1. Yeah, I see you put your little list here. This is interesting.
You like that infographic?
That is really cool. I'm gonna guess you didn't put the graphic together. This was something
I
you
did
just
not see that
you happened to find, but
there's a big A in the corner that does not stand for Anderson.
damn. Okay.
No.
What does he do? What does he do?
I don't know. I don't know what he's producing lately, but it's not this show.
No, it
It's a load of shit. That's what he's producing.
Yeah. Okay. The Oh, here we go with the post-schedule release. Way too early predictions. Is it time?
I mean, what better time than now? We have to do our way too early full breakdown
Damn,
of
so you
predictions.
really you went really specific. You went specific record for every single team. You were not fucking around, Josh.
It's what we did last year.
I know. Well,
I don't know
I
why
didn't
you're
know.
so shocked.
I thought we just did division winners and then that was it. I didn't know we actually did a record prediction for every team.
No,
But
this is what I did last year. And I thought you had
okay.
done it too. But it's fine. You don't have I
Okay.
mean, realistically, the people want to know who's making the playoffs and who's not, right? So yeah, I can start things off because
Go for it.
obviously
Take your time.
you're gonna need a minute to get to get caught up here. Um, so in the NFC, in the East, I got the Eagles winning that division. No shocker there. I do think they take a little step back from last year because they've lost a good amount in free agency, and people are going to start preparing a little more for the Eagles. I think, like, once, because last year they kind of jumped off the map, and now people have a year of tape to study them a bit. So I've got Eagles 11-6, Giants 9-8, Cowboys 9-8, and the Redskins in last place at 6-11. So sorry, Redskins fans. Let's see. The NFC North, I've got the Lions winning it because if you remember, if you are a true fan of the show, our post Super Bowl episode, we made some predictions, and that was one of my bold predictions early. The Lions will win the NFC North, and Jared Goff will be an MVP finalist because he puts up huge numbers next year. I'm sticking by that. Other predictions that I made: Broncos make playoffs, Jaguars #1 seed, and the Jets win the AFC West. But we'll get there. NFC North: Lions 10-7, Vikings 9-8, Packers 8-9, Bears 6-11. Again, Lions are the best team in that division. Vikings take a step back. Packers, we don't know what Jordan Love's going to do. He could pop off. He could be terrible. That's the biggest wild card in that division. NFC South, I've got the Saints winning it at 9-8. I got the Panthers just behind them at 8-9. The Falcons at 7-10, and the lowly Buccaneers at the bottom, 3-14. They are going to be one of the worst teams in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. The NFC West, I've got the 49ers at 12-5, the Seahawks at 9-8, the Rams at 8-9, and the Cardinals, who I predicted to have the worst season of
Yep.
anyone
Yep.
and draft Caleb Williams. I have them down there at 3-13 as well. I don't have anybody under 3 wins because it's almost harder to do that than to, like, it's harder to not get 3 wins than to do it. So yeah, 49ers to me are the class of the NFC, and they will be again. I think regardless of who they have at quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy, or Trey Lance is probably not going to start a game, which is kind of crazy, but they have the deepest roster. They're going to win a lot of games. So for my playoffs, I've got the 49ers as the 1 seed, the Eagles as the 2 seed, the Lions as the 3 seed, and the Saints winning that division as the 4 seed. Then in our wild card spot, I've got Seattle, I've got Minnesota, and I've got the New York Giants in that 7 seed. So no Cowboys in the playoffs. Peace out, Dallas. We don't want you there. And there you go. That's my NFC way too early prediction.
Well, obviously, I will not be giving record predictions for every single team, but
Oh, that's fine.
I can go 1 to 4 for every division,
Sure.
and rank it that way, and then I can just quickly give you my, what is it, seven teams,
Yeah.
7 teams for the playoffs. All right, so let me just finish up my NFC West here right quick. God, we're pretty much similar as I'm going through it. I mean, obviously, it doesn't help that I'm staring at your rankings and working off that. It's a little bit of, it's kind of pushing me in one direction here, but
Don't be too influenced because last year I was way off on a lot of shit.
All right.
and
All right.
it's the most unpredictable league in the world. So don't go nuts, or don't feel obligated to steal anything, because I will be wrong on most of this shit.
Oh shit.
Uh
Yeah.
oh, what'd you do?
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm fine. Woo. Never mind. Okay. So NFC East. Just to go, I'll just start from the top, work my way down. I got the Eagles winning the NFC East yet again, followed by the New York Giants in second place. I know I am a Redskins fan, but I have them getting more than 6 wins, Josh. I do think we're going to be right around an 8-9 win team. Regardless of how Sam Howell looks, I still give our defense a lot of credit. So I like the Redskins getting that third spot in the NFC East, and I think the Cowboys just have a really off year. And Mike McCarthy, he might get the boot after
He
this
gets the old
season.
heave ho.
Yeah. I mean,
Like it.
if they finish last in the division, that
Yeah,
will happen.
no doubt.
I mean, even if it is due to an extended absence of Dak Prescott due to injury or something, he won't get a pass. Jerry Jones will be like, "You see the window?" Yeah. And NFC North, you have the Detroit Lions taking the crown there, kings of the North, if you will. But
Yeah,
I have the Minnesota Vikings, which I'm pretty sure I probably had last year.
yeah.
So here we go again. And
No, wait. You had the Packers last year because you had the Packers in the Super Bowl.
I had them in the Super Bowl. Doesn't necessarily mean I had them winning the division.
All right.
Probably
Fair
did,
enough.
though. Probably
I
did.
definitely had the Vikings last year. That was one of
Okay.
my few
Okay, then maybe I had the
bold
Packers. Okay.
predictions that actually came true.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so Minnesota Vikings number one, Detroit Lions. I'll give them enough credit for that number 2 spot. I just couldn't put the Bears at number 3. I just still think they're the bottom of that division. It's gonna be a couple more years before they
I
get
think
things
they're more
going. And
competitive. I think they're more competitive this year, don't you?
you'd certainly hope so.
Well, yeah,
But yeah, I think the Packers number
true.
3, Bears number 4. Bears. Chicago's got a lot of work to do. Watch the Bears be fucking awesome this season. That'd be fucking
Right.
hilarious. NFC South, I will give that one to the Carolina Panthers. I'm
Nice.
gonna give them. Yeah. I know. With rookie quarterback and all. I think they take that division. I mean, that is probably the shittiest division in the league.
No doubt.
Very close with the AFC South, but the two Souths just very very the dirty
The
stinky
dirty,
Souths.
dirty, filthy South.
So I mean the Panthers number 1, Saints number 2, Falcons number 3, Bucks number 4. NFC West, I do agree with you. With the San Francisco 49ers, definitely hands down, should take it there. That said, we have no idea what to expect from Trey Lance. Now that Jimmy Garoppolo is officially gone, they don't have that security blanket to fall back on. And
He's not going to start a game. It's going to be Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold.
oh, wow, you think Brock Purdy's he's got the job now?
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty freaking awesome, but wow. So they invested that big of a draft pick, and
I think they move off
that's
him.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, either way, I got the 49ers taking it there. I mean, even if their offense is just average, their defense is stellar.
Yeah.
And defense wins championships. And I got the Rams actually getting number 2. I know they should, definitely. It wouldn't surprise me if they're one of the shittiest teams this year after that poor showing last season. But I think they bounce back. I think they get a bit luckier with the health of their players, especially Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
And the Rams take the number 2 spot there. And then, of course, I had filled out the NFC West with the Seahawks at number 3. And, of course, the lowly Arizona Cardinals at number 4. So there you go. My division winners: Eagles, Vikings, Panthers, and 49ers. So I gotta pick my 3 teams that will make it into the playoffs here. So I'll go Giants and I'll go Lions and
Rams
I'm
or
gonna go
Redskins?
Rams. I'm actually was gonna go Rams. I'm going
Okay.
Rams. Yep. I do think and it'll be by a hair. I think, if we have, 8 wins, they'll have 9,
Okay.
or we'll have a draw or something shitty, so definitely
They're
got the
gonna be
Rams. I,
straws.
I actually feel pretty good about that. I'm kind of happy I'm doing this on the fly. All right. All right, now we can go through AFC, right? And you can give me more time to do that again.
Yeah. All right. Good. So in the East, I've got. Oh, my records are all gone. That's fine. Uh,
Oh crap! Did I erase your records?
yeah, it's all good.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry, buddy. Damn it.
Okay, the records are meaningless. It's
Okay,
more or less to
okay.
Oh,
All
dude,
right.
they are all jacked up. All right.
No, I didn't move around the teams, so the order is
Yeah.
still your order,
Let's see. Wait.
and
Yes.
your playoffs is still there.
Yes, they are. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
So like I said in my bold predictions, the week after the Super Bowl, I said the Jets would win this division with a new quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that quarterback would be Jimmy Garoppolo, but it turns out it's Aaron Rodgers, so even better,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. So I've got the Jets at 1, Bills 2, Dolphins 3, Patriots 4. I think it's a rough season for the Patriots. And the Jets make me nervous because of how front loaded their schedule is. They've got a really tough stretch, their first like 8 games. Um, but if they can weather that storm and even just go 500, I think they're in great shape. My concern would be them losing a bunch of those games. Aaron Rodgers getting fucking Aaron Rodgers disgruntled, and then the media attacking him and it being a whole fucking thing. Um, that would be my concern, but I got to stick with my guns on my my week after Super Bowl prediction. So Jets win that division. In the North, I've got the Bengals first, Ravens second, Steelers third, Browns fourth. I think that this could be the most competitive division in football. I think we're going to see Steelers and Browns bounce back big. And
Wow.
well,
Okay.
I think that all of these teams are solid. I don't think any of them other than the Bengals are great, but I think they're all good. So I think this could be the most interesting and competitive division next year. In the South, I've got the Jags, Titans, Texans, Colts in that order. I don't think that's a shock to anybody. I think Jacksonville just dominates that division. They're going to go 6-0 in division and win a bunch of games out of
Ooh.
division.
Wow. All right.
Dude, Jags are going to be legit next year.
No. I
And
yeah. I don't disagree.
and again, a couple months ago, I said they'd be the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. I'm sticking by that, so I have to have them win the South to do that, and I think they have a lot of wins. I think like 13, maybe even 14 wins. In the West, the other most competitive division, Chargers get. I think the Chargers win the West. I think that they're going to be really good this year. I say it every year, and then they let me down, but I'm sticking with them. Chargers first, Chiefs second, Broncos third, Raiders fourth. And my playoff picture, I have the Jags in that number 1 seed, like I said a couple months ago. Chargers in the 2 seed, Bengals 3 seed, Jets get the 4 seed. And then my wild card teams are the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Broncos, which I hate having the Broncos in there. But again, I got to stick with my week after Super Bowl prediction that they would make the playoffs under Sean Payton. So I have them in there as the 7 seed. Don't feel great about it because I think that someone in the AFC North sneaks in, whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens. I want to give that spot to one of them, but got to stick to my guns here and have the Broncos making the playoffs. So Jags 1, Chargers 2, Bengals 3, Jets 4, Chiefs 5, Bills 6, Broncos 7.
Right on. All right.
Right on,
Um,
right on.
no, I was following what you were saying and trying to put mine together at the same time, and
It's impressive.
AFC, we agree a lot, actually.
Okay.
AFC East, I can't give. I know your bold prediction is the Jets winning the division. I'm not there yet. I can't
Okay.
give it to the Jets just yet. I still think that is the Bills' division, um, because yeah, they peter out in the playoffs, but they're so fucking dominant in the regular season. And I do think right now Josh Allen is a much better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers right now.
I agree.
Um, and I feel like also offensively, the Bills have better weapons than the Jets. That, of course, could be heavily disputed, but
Even with your boy Brees Hall coming back,
that's
Brandon.
true. This is true. Hey, don't be sleeping on
You
Breeze.
you were the biggest Brees Hall fan I knew last year.
I got him in an auto pick, and I stuck by him, and he was awesome, and then
He
he
was
got
awesome when he
injured.
played. Yeah.
So hopefully he can bounce back. And no, I got the Jets number 2 in that division. I do think they have a very good year, just not a division winning season. Dolphins number 3, we agree there. Patriots, the bottom feeders of the AFC East.
Ew.
Very, very stinky. Who knows? Might be Bill Belichick's final season. He might just say, "To hell
Could
with
be.
this,"
Could
too
be.
much of a project, or maybe he gets fired and gets picked up somewhere else. Maybe goes back to the Cleveland Browns. Who knows? But speaking of
Mm.
the AFC North,
Wow. I like that a lot.
speaking of the AFC North, I do agree 100% with your ranking here, with the Bengals getting the championship, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns. That's exactly how I would have ranked it. And I do think, like you said, it'll be a very entertaining division to watch. Mainly for the Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers. I still think the Browns will be tried and true. Your Cleveland Browns that we all know and couldn't care less about. The AFC South. Again, it's how do you pick against the Jags in this division to take it all? Because they're the only ones that it doesn't feel like is a just kind of a fresh start season for them.
Right.
Um, again, is Ryan Tannehill the starting quarterback for the Titans this season, or is it going to be Malik Willis? Or
Will
did they draft? They drafted that one kid,
Will Levis.
Will Levis. So, who's it going to be? What are they going to do? Too many questions for the Titans. The Texans, of course, coming off a horrendous year, and then the Colts. They're just an enigma right now. Also with a rookie quarterback, but I got the Jags number 1. I think the Texans actually have a surprisingly decent season. I really like D'Amico Ryans, and he picked up Bobby Slowick, who I was talking about. I wanted us to hire as our offensive coordinator before they got Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
So I think, look out for the Texans to have a surprising year this year. Be better than a lot of people think. There's that dark horse over there.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is they're going to lose a lot of games, but they're not going to be a team that you look forward to playing. I think that they're
Yeah,
going to be they're going
they're
to be a
tough
tough
out.
out.
Tough out.
Tough out.
Absolutely. So I got Jags, Texans, Titans number 3, Colts as the biggest losers
They're
of
going
the
to suck.
AFC South. I have no confidence in the Colts whatsoever. Let's go to the AFC West. Once again, here I go. Broken record. Still have the Chiefs as the number 1. I was wondering how long it was going to take you to do that. The Chargers at number 2, Raiders at number 3, and the Broncos yet again in that 4th spot. I think this is a season for the Broncos and for Russell Wilson where they realize, we're in trouble. I don't think last year was a fluke. I think what we saw from Russell Wilson will be what we're going to see, if not even less, moving forward.
Wow.
I think he reached his peak. He hit that arc, and he is on his way down, my friend. For whatever reason, who knows? I mean, Who gives a shit? But
No,
yeah.
I mean you could be totally right. He looked awful last year. I just put a lot of that blame on Nathaniel Hackett and not Russell Wilson. So now you replace Hackett with a Hall of Fame coach, and I hope that they turn it around.
So
Because of my
you're
prediction. I don't give a shit otherwise, but
yeah,
because
yeah.
of my prediction. Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't care. I do hope the Chargers have a good year. I always found myself rooting for the Chargers now.
Same.
Justin Herbert, again, we share a birthday. So, we have that in common. We're basically brothers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys could be if I saw you two
We're
standing next
twins.
to each other.
We are
Yeah,
twins. You couldn't tell us apart. I know. It's stunning, really. I
yeah.
can't believe it myself. But so here are your again, I don't have the specific 1 to 7 ranking for the playoffs, but your division winners, of course, the Bills, the Bengals, the Jags, and the Chiefs. So my final 3 filling that out, I'm gonna go Jets, I'm gonna go Chargers. Jets, Chargers.
Ravens?
You know what? I'm gonna scratch that. I'm gonna go Jets, Ravens, Steelers. I think
Ooh.
3 teams from the AFC North get into the playoffs this year.
But
So
your twin.
I know my twin
Your
doesn't make it.
your
My
twin
twin
doesn't
doesn't
make
make
it.
it. Again, this close.
Wow,
Very, very
dude.
close. I know we're gonna have a lot to talk about at the end of the season. That's for sure. Me and old Justin.
All right. Well, I love those predictions. It's always fun to have something to look back on and go, in our case, go, wow, I was way off about that. I am such an idiot. I had no idea. It's one of my favorite things last year was to look back on how wrong I was about the Broncos. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if we didn't have conversations like this. So I'm glad we came in, we put it together, and hopefully everybody who listens to this has something to take away from it. So thank you for joining us here on Brash Plus.
Until next time.
Until next
Peace.
time, this is Josh and Brandon
Signing
signing
off.
off.
All right, buddy. Catch you on the next one. Thanks,
Peace.
everybody. Peace.